Hey nerds, join us on Discord and hit that subscribe button.
Hi, I'm Thessaly.
Sika.
Flynn.
Ceallach.
Oma!
And I'm your DM, Ethan. Welcome to Venture Forth. Previously, you all had entered into combat with dark blades atop a mountain in the Venville Rise. From the portal that they had opened to the plane of air elementals began spewing out as the portal opened further and further and further. You all were seemingly bested in combat until Seeker pulled out a small blue playing card and threw it into the center of battle, summoning an adult blue dragon, completely changing the tide of this battle, and eventually closing the portal and defeating the Dark Blades. Now you have collected all of their weapons, you have them surrendered, and Ceallach is making a proposition to Provel. So, Ceallach, as Provel is standing up, he says, we head down the mountain. I think it might be good for you to give me your pitch. What you got?
Well, let's gather up the stragglers here and make sure everyone's all right. But as we do, I'd be happy to explain. I feel that you might be missing some details about the purpose of this gate opening.
Well, I think you might be missing some details as well, so I'm hoping we can fill each other in.
Hopefully it will be edifying.
Okay. Dunner, Rack, Io, anyone seen Manala? Fuck, where's Manala?
Shit.
Which one of you?
It wasn't us, it was the wind, so before you get angry.
Just point to the
Which
edge.
happens to be the thing that you brought into this plane. Not
Technically,
us.
it was you, yeah.
She was blown off the side.
Does anyone have any water? So tired.
You can just melt the snow.
Thessaly, come get this big sword.
I kind of have to... Seeker, are you going to be able to walk?
Just barely.
All right, fine, Flint. I'll go over to Flint.
Oh, don't. I mean, it looks like something you would like, but I mean, if you don't want
I
it.
mean... Okay, I'm going to go over and help him with it.
Okay. It looks like a pretty decent sword, a little on the heavy side, and looking at it and taking it up, it doesn't feel... It feels a little bit heavier than yours, your swords. It feels like your swords you would be able to very dexterously sort of move throughout the air. But this one, it feels like if you swing this thing hard enough, it's sort of an unstoppable force with the weight behind it. So it just sort of depends on what you're feeling like. This one, also, you're not sure. It doesn't look like it's got the magical effects of your sword.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if he wants it back. I don't know what we're really doing here as I glance at Ceallach. But I figured maybe you can just hold on to it for now so he doesn't try and use it on us again.
I can definitely hold on to it for now, at the very least.
I'll hold on to the others for now. What are we doing?
I think we can all agree that the path down from the summit here is going to be treacherous for any of us. If we can agree not to stab each other in the back, it's probably a good idea for us to go together.
As you're saying that about the path back down, I'm trying to make my way up the stairs to the altar to go collect my card.
Oh, I have it.
Oh, you got it?
Seeker, here. Do you need this?
Oh, yes, please.
And I hand him the card, and also I'm going to reach into my pack and pull out a small tin metal cup from my tin mess kit, and I'm going to look around the ground and try to find some slightly untouched snow, and I'm going to scoop some snow into it, and then I'm going to use shape water to melt the snow, and then I'm going to hand my cup to.
You attempt to cast shape water.
Oh, no.
As you put your hand over the water, nothing happens.
Yeah, let me try that again.
Olma?
The wild magic surge was you permanently forget one cantrip.
And you
I
decided
took
this
your
to be the
character
first
sheet.
one I
took your character sheet. You have 5 cantrips.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1d6 and I said, it's going to be 1 through 5. A 6 is a reroll. I rolled a 3, which is your 3rd cantrip down. That just happened to be
Shape water.
shape water.
The first cantrip.
That is wild.
That is incredible. I am blown away.
I love that
I
happened.
mean, that could have been weeks.
Yeah,
months.
If you want to look at the
No. Sorry, secret. Give me a second.
I was showing her how to do snowballs earlier. Maybe that's what she's doing.
I don't want a snowball.
Yeah, what do we need? We don't need snowballs, Oma.
Wait, but I can't.
Yeah, what?
I'm just trying to melt it so that he can drink some water. Just give me a second, and I sit down in the snow.
Oh, Olma.
It's okay.
It's fine. Here, and I'm gonna pull out a canteen that I have and hand it to Seeker. Olma, it's fine. You don't have to. Are you all right?
I don't understand.
What don't you understand? It's snow.
I know, but how come the snow's not melting?
Well, it has to get hot for it to melt, Olma.
No, I can melt it.
Oh, with your magic? That's something you can do?
Yeah, I can move water and change water and I've made things swim in water and I made a wave go over Flynn and I hardened a snowball earlier so that I could hit you with it.
Maybe you're just tired.
Yeah.
We're all tired.
But I'm not that tired.
Maybe
You're not?
you don't feel tired, but maybe, I don't know, magic is weird.
Certainly cast a lot during that fight.
No, just
You
one.
didn't? Just one?
Yeah, I just stayed up for the whole time.
I look meaningfully at Thessaly at this mention of and I look from her to Oma just with a wary.
I actually feel totally great. Shockingly. Yeah, I feel fine.
Impressive. I don't know, Oma, maybe you should try when we get down from the mountain. It's kind of weird up here.
Okay.
We can just wait. It's okay. We should get moving anyway.
Yeah, I think that's wise. When I look up, it was nighttime, correct? So it's getting toward the earlier morning now, maybe, or
right now it is probably just cresting midnight.
Okay.
As
Got
you guys
here.
you guys started ascending the mountain when Shreya left right at sunset. And you got up here, combat ensued. It's probably just about cresting midnight.
Perhaps we can make it back to where we took a breather before, and take a breather till the sun comes out. But I wouldn't want to rest up here.
Is there a cave anywhere that maybe we can find a cave to get some shelter in?
It depends on the path. We took a path from Shreya's village up here. I don't know anything about caves on the way. And I sort of look at the dark blades, to see if they have any idea where we are.
We weren't planning on making camp up here. We were planning on making the full trek down.
Okay.
So 2 things. One, I'm gonna whistle and get Eldra's attention, and I'm gonna make just gonna put 2 fingers up in the air and make a circle, and I'm gonna talk to her telepathically and say, head down the way we came and take a look out for the army or anyone. And then I'm gonna look up and say, Des, I'm going to need a hand. I'm exhausted. I can barely walk right now.
I can tell you've spent quite a lot to protect the rest of us, so you can have a whole shoulder. And I'll go ahead and prop him, put my shoulder underneath his and prop him up and help him walk around and move.
You look out and you are reminded that you are actually above the cloud layer. So as you look out, you can't actually see too much. You look down and the clouds actually begin a couple hundred feet below you. So Eldra would have to swoop down below the clouds in order to assess, like you said.
All right.
Well, I guess we just keep going until we're too tired to move, and then we can decide if we want to rest or try and trek it down to the town?
We don't know what's left of Shraya's village at this point. We don't know at the pace those dwarves were coming up.
Is Eldra going to check to see if it's safe to go there? If they've arrived yet?
Yes, I sent her down to
I guess.
let us know what might be in the way.
We may as well begin the journey.
Yeah.
Right.
She'll come back when she can.
We should be wary. We should be ready to run into unsavory types on the way down.
I'll turn to the group, the Dark Blades. So, keep your distance.
Yeah, sure.
What happens if we run into the Caldor? Are they friends of yours?
No, we don't have many friends in Caldor. No.
Wonder why.
Blend, they're fine. They were doing a job. Or trying, anyway, but...
No, it's fine. We were trying to kill you. So I understand.
I
Quite
grab my
effectively
side,
at one point.
Yeah.
stare at Io and just kind of squint and keep walking.
Let's get a move on. As we do, I will basically line myself up with Pravil, and presumably the two of us will sort of lead the march down.
Okay. As you do, you take that similar sort of spiral path around the peak of the mountain and eventually descend back into the clouds. As you descend down into the clouds, you feel your clothes begin to cling to you, and your skin begins to become damp with the moisture of the clouds, which that dampness, as you go down further and further, then begins to freeze against your skin and against your clothes and against your face.
It's so cold.
But eventually you do get below the cloud layer. And as you do, your vision is opened up once again. Although now below the clouds, it is much, much darker. Above the clouds, you had the light of the stars to guide your way. Now you are below the clouds and you do not have that light. And it is much darker as you head down the mountain. I am going to have, Ceallach, you said you are leading the charge. I am going to have you make a survival check for me.
Okay.
As you lead the group.
Stendi nobis. Light up my arm. And if you're looking, you might notice that this light is the sort of darker colored orange that you're more acquainted with, and not the whiter, more kindly light.
I'm definitely looking.
That's a survival check? Okay.
Yeah, we'll count down.
Hey, I'll take that.
Oh boy.
But if it were a 1,
I'd
I
be
would.
that's not the rule.
It's slipped.
That's a 22.
22, nice. You all are heading down the mountain. Ceallach, you have a pretty good sense of direction right now of where you need to be headed to be going down the mountain. Now, I will ask, are you headed down that same path to go to Shraya's village? Are you looking out for different paths? Are you looking out specifically for a place to rest?
Do we hear from Eldra
Yeah.
at this
that is a good point.
anywhere
Eldra,
within
We're
the journey?
wait
Yeah.
to see what Eldra brings back, and then we can change our course, but
Right.
head towards the town for now.
That's basically what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Eldra, within the next few minutes, would return, and Seeker, propping herself on your shoulder, tells you that the army is already at the village,
Oh, man.
and that they have completely taken over the village. That is where the army is at, and she said that they seem to be stopped for the night, but they are completely in the village.
There's a camp.
Yes. So with that information,
What do we think? Shall we just try to make it down to the bottom through a detour of some kind?
Is there a way to go around the village that Eldra might have seen or that you all know about? And I'll look to the Dark Blade.
I would assume we took just about the same path to get up
At a certain
the
point,
village.
we might just have to find the least steep incline.
Or sneak around.
Yeah.
Oh, sneaking again? Okay.
It's okay, Thessaly. You did such a good job earlier. I'm sure you can do it again.
Well, thank you very, Oma. That's very kind of you to say.
Mm-hmm. I can help. I can hold your shirt still, maybe, and then it won't jingle jangle.
Sure, we can try that.
And Ceallach, with that survival check, as you are heading down towards the village, you do see just down the mountain what might be another path. You don't see a direct way to get to it from this path. You might have to trudge through some snow and through some trees, but you just barely see a clearing that might be another path that leads in another direction.
Perhaps this way. I'll lead, all right, and just mind where I step.
How much longer? Tired.
Then I think it's best if we get as much distance between us and Caldor as we can.
Okay.
All right, you all head down to that secondary path.
Yes, and as we do, I would like to locate creature and see if I can find Minala.
Can you please read the spell?
That's nice.
This might be so it depends on how snow works. So
Oh, if snow is water. Or
yeah, because I can't get across running water with it.
It's not running water. Snow would not be.
I would not qualify snow as running water.
As long as that creature's been 1,000 feet of me, I can sense the direction of the creature's location to the creature's location. If the creature is moving, I know the direction of its movement. The spell can locate a specific creature known to you or the nearest creature of a specific kind. If the creature described is named in a different form, such as being under the effects of a polymorph spell, the spell can't locate the creature. This spell can't locate a creature of running water. At least 10 feet wide blocks a direct path between you and the creature.
And that's a tabaxi too, so they're probably not prevalent in this tundra.
Right. Well, and I know her name, so I can find her specifically. Yeah.
You cast this spell, and nothing on your radar.
Oh man.
Oh.
And I sort of, with my eyes briefly flashing with the embers flowing out of them, give a somber look to problem. I can't find your friend. I'm sorry. Can't say for sure. Perhaps they've flown pretty far.
We'll just say that she found her way down the mountain. She landed safe, and she's on her way to meet us back at the base. We're on finding that different path. Okay. Yeah.
It looks like it's actually getting progressively easier as we go here.
Okay. Good. And you all make your way to the secondary path, and before long, as this path winds down the mountain, you see a cave opening just off to your left. A pretty decent-sized cave opening, too. As you approach it, it looks like it is probably similar to the one that you took to get to the top of the Venville Rise. It looks to be a cave that extends further on, deeper into the mountain as well.
Do you think we should go in here? It's so cold.
Perhaps we can wait out. I don't know. We don't have Shreya here to tell us if it's going to get warmer.
How far away is it from the town? Is this safe enough? Is this far enough away? I'll turn to Seeker. What did Eldris say? Did she know?
I didn't have her go that far, but she did say that they are taking up camp for the night. If we're going to try and sneak by, maybe we should keep going.
Well, maybe this cave goes to the bottom. We took a cave to the top, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we can just take this all the way down.
Well, we don't know where the cave goes for certain. If I look down, westerly, can I sort of see where the mountain ends, or are we still well away?
You guys are pretty still well up in the mountain range,
Yeah.
but from what you remember, this separate path is sort of leading you away from where the village was, and you feel that you're a pretty good distance from the village. It would take some traveling to get to the village at this point.
Do we want to at least take a breather in the cave?
I could definitely use a rest.
Right.
I'm good to take just a full long nap is what I would like.
A full long nap?
Just as much sleep as I can get would
About
be
8 hours, you're thinking?
helpful. Yes.
I need 10.
I'm gonna poke my head in the cave and try and get a sense of how safe it is.
Okay. You look in and you see a pretty empty cave. You do see that it is this wide-mouthed cave that it sort of creates this almost dome-like shape before it gets a little bit smaller, and a smaller tunnel, maybe about 10 feet in diameter, continues on down into the mountain. But for the most part, the mouth of the cave seems to be pretty well sheltered from the wind and the cold outside.
How wide is the mouth of the cave?
Oh, probably about 50 feet. It's a pretty decent sized.
And how tall?
It's like diameter wise 50 feet. So
50,
it is
50?
like a pretty big circle. It does seem to be like a natural forming thing, and then it just sort of gets a little bit smaller towards the back before it leads into the rest of the cave.
Remembering what Seeker said like way earlier, can I look around for any signs of another kind of dragon that someone saw in the sky?
Oh my god.
Yeah, make a nature check for me.
Sure.
Totally forgot about that.
Oh, maybe this is its home.
Did Elder say anything about seeing anything big and ominous?
I thought it was just a big Eldra. I thought we decided it was just a very big.
7.
A 7. Looks like a cave. And as you step in to sort of investigate it, immediately as you step in, the wind subsides. You start to hear sort of that echo of the wind outside, and you can feel it just a little bit warmer, only a couple degrees, but in this cold, that really makes the difference.
Do we want to rest here? A lot of creatures live on the mountain. I'm just worried.
There's
Take some watches.
and
That's true.
We'll definitely take watches as I look over to the dark blades.
there's nothing to say we won't encounter creatures out here as easily as in there.
I guess that's a fair point. We should rest. We should rest while we have the opportunity to rest.
It'll give us a chance to stand a chance against anything we encounter.
We should make sure
Yes.
that it's relatively safe, though, and check in a little deeper to make sure there's nothing dangerous, right?
I agree.
I know I said I was tired. I'm not too tired. I can go if someone wants to go with me and you
I'll
guys
go.
can set camp. Yeah?
You and
Yeah, I'll
Olga?
go, and I can take first watch.
Okay.
Well, me and Prav will do that.
Okay, but I don't really like taking second watch because then you go to sleep and then you wake up and then you go back to sleep. So I would rather take first or take last. I don't want to take second.
I'll take second.
I'll
You can
take second.
yeah.
All right.
We'll take second.
We'll
There's
take
a lot
second
of
watch,
us.
Oma.
Here to cover.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
I thought we don't trust them. Do
Yeah,
we
we'll
trust
definitely
them?
be staying up while they're up.
Aye. I'm sure they also would not want to be sleeping with us awake.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll take third watch.
Sounds great.
Got it. Thessaly, do you want to come with us as well?
I'm going to stay with Seeker and help him get
Sure.
settled. He seems, and I'm gonna just make sure that kind of set Seeker down, let him take a seat, and see if he needs anything.
And I'll turn to the dark blades. And
I
have
will go with you
Who's that?
as the hobgoblin rack turns
Love
to you.
it. Good. Come along, and I'll start walking.
I give Flynn just a
I'm going with
cautionary
okay.
look.
Yeah, I give him a nod, and as I do, I'll as we start to walk away from the group, I'll rub my fingers together, and that green flame, and I'll tap it to my shoulder as I cast light on my shoulder pad, and it glows the green flame that's flickering off of it to give myself light so I can see in this tunnel as we go.
All right. Awesome. And as you do, you make your way into the tunnel, about 10 feet in diameter, so you're able to easily walk through. And as soon as you get in, you see that from the signs on the walls, at one point, this might have even been like a volcanic vent from a long dormant volcano. As some of the etching on the walls looks to be that sort of that molten rock that was at one point melted. But you continue on deeper and deeper. How far in you going?
I'm curious, in my training at the Iron Light, did they ever, how to find shelter in the wild, how to check a cave to make sure it's safe? Would I have, I'm sure they would have taught me something on how to, kind of the basics of setting up in that. So I don't know if I could do some kind of check, survival. Go in, I'm going to go in a little bit and just, use my training to...
Make a survival check for me.
All right.
Do you see anything, Flynn?
I'm looking, hold on. Looking for tracks. So listen, you got to look for tracks.
Okay.
And you want to check the sides of the walls to see if there's any markings or runes or anything, because then that means maybe somebody also lives here that's, like us. And
Okay.
you also want to smell smell for any odd smells. You want to smell earthy smells. You want to smell like water is okay. But if you start smelling anything other than that, then there might be something in here. Also listen, so be quiet. And I will do my surf.
I'm being quiet.
No, shh. And let's see, that is... Shh.
Sorry.
A 16.
16. Awesome. Looking around, you don't find any of the major signs of any sort of animal or being occupying this. One of the major things that you were taught was oftentimes you'll find in shelters food for specific animals, whether that be plants or animals that have been dragged back, stuff like that. And you're not finding any of that. The only signs of life you're finding are like some little insects crawling on the walls, stuff like that.
So yeah, and then one of the last things is you want to look around for any type of bones or carcasses or any type of food. And if that's in here, that means that something else is living in it. And
Do you see anything?
I haven't. And have you?
No.
So what do you think that means?
There's nothing in here?
Yeah, it looks pretty
But
safe.
what if there is? It's just further in.
We can keep looking, but I mean, technically you go for, as long as you can't hear the other group, if we're out of earshot, then, we should be good.
Okay.
And we're going to be on watch, so.
Okay, so now we just head back and we tell everyone everything is fine?
Yeah.
But what if it's not fine and everyone dies because of you?
There's always a risk of that.
If you wouldn't mind, I have a few tricks up my sleeve, I think is how you say it.
You're not?
You give me one moment. And
Easy, Rack.
reaches down into his bag. You took my swords. I don't know anything else. He reaches into his bag and he has this little wine bottle in there. And he swishes it around and he takes the last little tiny sip of wine in there before he grabs another small leather pouch. He puts the wine bottle into the leather pouch, walks over to the wall, and smashes the wine glass on the inside in the leather pouch.
I look over to Alma.
Takes the leather pouch, goes over to the smallest part of the tunnel, and starts emptying out the glass onto the floor of the tunnel.
Ah.
So if anyone steps on any of the glass, it makes a noise that hopefully we'll be able to hear.
But what if they just step over the glass?
Well, they'd have to see it to do that. So maybe they miss it and they step on it.
Well,
Well, if they lived in a cave, don't you think they can see around the cave?
Maybe, but maybe they're just not looking down. There's a lot of
Okay.
things to make sure they're safe. You have to look all over.
Okay. If you say so. It seems kind of sketchy to me.
it's a broken wine bottle on the ground. I don't know what else much you want me to do from that.
I mean, I didn't want you to do that to begin with, but
I'm
you
just
wanted to
trying
do
to
that.
help.
You're being so helpful. Good job.
Thank you. That makes me feel better.
We're not giving your sword back.
I know.
All right, let's go back. We'll head back to the...
Hey, did you guys ever find Brahm?
I apologize. I don't know who that is.
You the drum winds? You never found the drum winds?
I do not believe I'm acquainted.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, I thought the whole point of this was to have... You guys didn't need a key.
No.
Is that common? Have you given
For
up
this spell?
to open the portals?
Well, it's interesting. Actually, I was speaking with Dunner about this. Because he's he does very well with all of this stuff. I'm not of that sort of mind. But from what he was describing to us, that beyond the need for a key, we were one of the special teams that was tasked with finding other ways into the planes that didn't require keys. Because we had a few teams out looking for keys. They had designated a few teams to look for other ways to open these portals. And Dunner had discovered a way that if you have a creature with a immense connection to another plane, then only under very specific circumstances Those circumstances being in the right place, where the walls between the planes are at their absolute thinnest, which was at the peak, as you saw, as well as at a very, frankly, specific time of year. During the long eve, the gods' reach is limited. Without the sun, they cannot observe the actions of mortals quite as well. The light is not shown on us. So normally when such a ritual to open up these portals is enacted, if we had done this, say, a week ago, the gods might have interfered and stopped the portal from opening. But now, under these special conditions, our actions are invisible to them. So all things pointed to that one moment.
So we don't even need keys anymore. Now we have another thing to worry about.
I think they mostly need keys. I mean, I think this was a very specific situation. I don't think the fire one would have been quite so specific. I mean,
I will say, in the long time that my brother was searching, we had only ever found one creature that had the qualifications that to meet those qualifications to open up the portal. Tito was the only creature with such an immense connection to the plane of air, and quite frankly to any other plane, that we were ever able to find.
There could be more.
I mean, I don't think we should borrow trouble. Let's assume it's pretty hard to have that kind of connection, and
Yeah, but it could be out there. And
I know, but the long eve is only 10 days, so
Yeah.
maybe not worry about it again until next year.
Opening a portal?
No, opening a portal in this way and focus on the keys.
Well, yeah, but maybe they're finding someone else that's in the plane of water or the plane of whatever that has a connection. And that's happening right now, far away from us. And they don't even need a key. And now we have to worry about someone random in the world that is really
Wait, but
connected.
we could worry about lots of things.
Yeah.
So, in the grand scheme of things, don't you think we have something a little bit closer to us to worry about?
Yeah.
Tattoos causing lots of people's death very, very soon.
Oh, yeah.
So, maybe we pick the things we want to worry about.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm kind of smart sometimes.
No.
I kind of push her a little bit. give her like a nudge. All right, let's go.
All right, you guys make your way back to the rest of the group. As you all are setting up camp, is there anything you all want to do before we start the long rest?
I want to get Ulma. A while ago, when we first met, I gave you a necklace. It was like a dragon necklace. Do you still have it? Like dragon jaw. Maybe it was blue or red.
Wait, is it a necklace?
I think so.
Let me check.
Oh.
And I start digging through my bag. I mean, this looks like a bone. Do you think this is it? And I hold up a piece of job.
It's yeah, that looks like what I remember. Could I have a look at it?
Sure, I don't care. I toss it over to him.
Okay, I'll give it back to you later. And I wanna identify it. I'm gonna do a ritual, and also on my little dragon card.
Okay, awesome.
If I see him sitting down to do magic, I would love to just... What are you doing?
Well, I'm currently...
Can I watch?
You're a little close.
Is it-
Hey, man, I'm tired. Back.
But it looks cool. What do you...
So look, this is
The bone.
these are matches. I'm pulling out matches,
What?
and I'm going to do a little bit of a ritual.
I'm gonna I'm throwing my bedroll down and just surveying the scene, and I'm gonna meander casually over to Seeker and lean into him, give him a pat on the shoulder, and just say, "Really glad we made it through that fight." And as I do that, I'm going to hand him one of the rings from the staff in the swamp, and like indicate his little setup here with the ring and leave it to him.
I'm glad too. I have someone to thank when we make it back.
The ritual?
Yes. You can watch it.
No, yeah, I think I saw something like that in my book, but it didn't really make sense. Can I watch?
Okay.
I'll try not to ask.
Just don't say
too many questions.
don't say anything.
I might ask some questions.
I have to concentrate.
Probably some questions.
It's going...
All right. And as everyone is finishing setting up camp for the night, which are you identifying first?
I'll start with the card.
Start with the card. Okay. Awesome.
I'll kiss it. Set it down.
As you ritually cast this, and you can start to hear the whispers of the secrets of the card coming to light, you begin to understand that, some of which you already know. Once you swipe your finger across this card and throw it, you are able to pick a command word, have different effects. You threw it before and you didn't know any of the command words, so a random effect occurred. But with the 4 command words, you are able to summon either a blue dragon wormling, a young blue dragon, an adult blue dragon, or an ancient blue dragon. Each of those are under your full control, but as you determined before, they take an immense amount of power to stay in their dragon form.
Yeah, that hurt a little.
So, every round that each of these dragons are in existence and not in card form, you are going to be taking damage. Wormling, 3d8 points of damage. Young blue dragon, 6d8. Adult is 9d8. And ancient is 12d8. So 3, 6, 9, 12.
Okay.
You have full control over this dragon. And you have 1 word of recall in order to, on your turn, take an action and recall the dragon back into the card. Also, this can only be used once per long rest. That's another. And additionally, once the card is recalled, if you summon an ancient blue dragon or an adult blue dragon, you roll a d4, and whatever number that lands on, that's the amount of exhaustion that you get. Yeah. If it is a young blue dragon, you automatically get 1 point of exhaustion, and if it is a blue dragon wormling, you don't get any exhaustion. You just take the damage.
Got it.
Okay, what item is next?
Next, we'll do the dragon jaw necklace.
Okay.
So you just know what it does now?
Yes, I say the words, and when I light the match and the smoke goes over, it's kind of the magic.
You were sitting there for a while, just kind of staring.
It kind of talks to me.
Oh, okay.
And it tells me kind of what it can do.
And I will pull out my book and I will kind of flip through it and try and find stuff about rituals and maybe any spells that I have that are rituals, and I'll try and read them while he's doing this too.
Okay. Awesome. So next one is the jawbone. Yep. So it is a jawbone that is that has you can tell it used to be painted, but some of that paint has been faded. And as it is whispering the secrets to you, you find out that this is, in fact, not the full magic piece. This is a part of, it's a broken off piece of a larger full jawbone. And when worn as a necklace and attuned to you, you may then select a damage type, and it imbues you with the draconic power of having a breath weapon of the damage type of your choice.
That's cool.
Wow. Okay.
Lots of dragon stuff today.
A lot of dragons.
Love it.
And then finally, the gold ring that was found in the swamp. So that is an item that requires attunement. And if you, it takes 1 action to activate in combat. And once you do, you select a target and throw the ring. The ring will then select a very important person to that target from their memory, and then from whatever material is around them, whether that be stone, water, in some cases mud, that person will then be constructed and be a construct under your bidding.
Wow. Okay.
Flashback. That was cool.
Okay.
Hang on to that for a while.
I think I kind of remember that one.
Does the ring? Is it single use, or is it? Can you use it?
You can use it more than once.
You have to attune to it.
You have to attune to it. One per long rest.
One per long
again.
rest,
Yes.
Oh, these are it's fantastic. You already saw what the card can do.
Yeah, that's crazy. How are you feeling, by the way? You okay?
No, I'm very tired.
So you probably can't do it anymore.
I mean, I could, but
Cool, because I had like this sword in my bag, and I'll go.
I was going to say I want to get sleep, but
I'll go to my bag and ignore him. And I want to bring out.
I mean, because I'm really tired.
And I bring out.
Is it the sword you can take back? You already know how to do that.
I can't. No, this one I can't summon it.
Okay.
Yeah. So the way that works, do you want to know?
No.
Okay. Well, here I got a sword, and I think a long time ago, I got a sword in a cave next to some dead drow.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it. I think I can't remember if it was magical or not, but I have it written down that I got a sword.
It's the drow glass sword. Because I have the glass
You
dagger.
have the dagger.
Yeah.
I have the sword, so I'm gonna hand him the sword.
The dagger was a +1 too.
What does this do?
Okay. I will strike another match.
His box is probably getting empty.
Fine, Flynn.
Thank you.
But quiet, please.
Okay.
I will do another ritual.
Okay. Immediately you get the sense of dark magic surrounding this sword. And by the end of your ritual, you determine that it is a +1 short sword that also does 1d4 additional necrotic damage.
1d4.
1d4.
1d4 necrotic damage.
Necrotic.
This is the dark item.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's basically like black glass. So.
I mean, but it is magical, and it will cut you, but then it will like fester and make it. Yeah.
Gross. Well, I mean, we found it on some dead bodies, so that kind of tracks.
Did you kill them?
No, we found them dead. Yeah,
Oh.
I think I'm gonna look around for Alma to make sure she's out of earshot.
I'm sleeping.
And I'll see her kind of snoring. Yeah, their throats were slit. I don't know how it happened, but yeah, they were dead. So we took their stuff, as you do. Well, I probably have more stuff in my bag that you can identify, but
Well, maybe next time so I can sleep a little.
oh yeah, you need to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, fine.
Ceallach, did you want this back?
Hey, thanks.
It'll mimic
Make a mud monster or someone you love.
oh yeah. Were you just testing me, or what is happening?
Educated guess.
Okay, well, very good. I'm going to sleep now.
Thanks for confirming.
Good night.
All right, then. Sorry?
Just real fast, while the ritual casting and the identifying was going on, if I could take out my painter supplies and my sketchbook, and just before I go to sleep, and then maybe pick it up again while I'm on my watch, I would like to start a sketch of all of the dark blades.
Okay.
With the intent of finishing painting it before we leave camp tomorrow.
Okay, I'm going to have you make a dexterity check for me. See how well you do that painting.
17.
17, nice. Okay, you are, in this time before you rest, you are just able to sort of sketch out like the base layer of it. You're able to get basic forms and shapes that you feel like you could refine later, but you are pretty happy with your progress. With that, everyone goes to sleep except for Ceallach and Provel. So, Ceallach, what would you like to do?
As we I imagine we make a small fire,
Yes.
and I sort of pull up a stone to perch on, and sort of Just let my eyes linger on the walls of the cave for a moment. So, let's discuss. I understand. Let me start by saying I don't expect to just pump you for information. I want to reach an understanding between us. You seem like well-intended folks, so I'm baffled as to why you would take this course. Can you explain, just for now, why opening that gate and letting it expand is going to help stop the war? Beyond just stopping the existence of Elbor altogether.
Well, the hope is that, and why we had volunteered for this mission is because I think that it's important to understand that this war has been going on for 30 years, and I'm sure I don't need to be telling you or anyone here how devastating it is, and how each day that passes, when the war rages, it is only destruction, and it's really just the worst kind of destruction. It is the destruction of families and of people and ideas, and so unfortunately I am led to believe that we are at the point that only a greater catastrophe than that can stop it. And portals, given enough power and enough unification, obviously one person can't do it, but eventually, from talking to Dunner, if enough power is put into it from some of the world's most powerful mages, the portals can be closed. But put the 5-10 most powerful mages in the world together and they can't stop the war. It's unfortunate, and I understand that opening the portal leads to greater destruction, and I understand that our actions on the mountain would have led to the deaths of many people, but to me it's just weighing the costs. At this point, I am willing to sacrifice not just other people's lives, but my own, in order to save 10 times that many. I just believe that this world needs a shock into doing the right thing, and I don't know, I've just lost a lot.
I sort of shake my head at the ground hearing this. Funny how times like this lead to this kind of thinking, this rhetoric. What do you think happens to Shraya's, Tubo, his family's village? Now, do you think the creatures that fill that place up start from where Shraya's people ended? Or do they start back from the beginning? And when they do, where do you suppose they go? You think they go in a different way than Shraya's people did? Or do you think because they have none of the information that Shraya's people have now, they find themselves making the exact same mistakes? I speak from experience regarding rebirth. Destruction just brings destruction, and then you start from scratch and you find your way back to destruction. You have to build to save lives. These people that you serve, they want to bring about the end of gods altogether. And I could see the argument made that's one way or another could help, might not help. But this idea that you're sacrificing lives to save lives? What amount of math do you suppose you have to do to come out not in debt?
I mean, and what's your suggestion? Because the best argument that I've heard is that creating such a portal here and opening it up to the plane of air as well as the others will shock people into giving up their belief in their gods, that they are there to save them, that they are there to help them. And trust me, in my years of traveling the world, I can tell you that some of the greatest peace can only come out of the absolute dismissal of the gods. I mean, this war is being fought in their name, and I just don't understand how people are able to trick themselves into thinking that they are fighting this holy war. But I think the solution to that would be to show people that the gods are not there for them. The gods are just as selfish and just as unjust in their actions and just as petty as the rest of us. I mean, maybe then they would stop fighting and kill each other.
Do you think the dwarves plundering this mountain are doing so with the scripture of Zacriel on their lips? Or do they see an opportunity for resources, power? Wars being fought for the gods in name only.
I have had the honor of standing by not the devoted soldiers that fight in this war, but the people behind the soldiers, not the people who go and kill, but the people who then go home and live their normal lives, the people behind the soldier. And trust me when I say that, yes, a great many of them do sign themselves up to be a part of this army with the scripture on their lips. It is the individuals that believe that they're doing this for the right thing. It's not them that's have the wrong ideas in their heart. It's the people above them that take advantage. And I think if people saw that the gods are not there for them, they would not have then that excuse to fall back on, that they're actually doing something good for the world by signing up to start killing each other.
So your suggestion to end it is to appoint yourself as a god and tear rifts in the world to end it. Decide for the rest of the world what they should believe.
I know it's not the most sound thinking, but I mean,
it's the simplest.
Look,
it's the simplest.
We've put ourselves into the royal chambers. We have inserted ourselves into the council rooms, and we have inserted ourselves into these places of authority where we try and make difference and nothing happens. So as much as I appreciate the sentiment of wanting to all sit around the campfire and sing lullabies to each other and want all this bad stuff to go away, the people with the real power in this world just aren't gonna allow that.
I just don't see how you think this solves the problem. You're just adding to the body count. It's foolish. It's a quaint idea, right? Burn down the building. We there's some rot in it, so let's just start over. You can
So
cleanse
should we just wait around and hope that the rot recedes itself? I
No,
don't
you can
understand
hear
what
it.
you're proposing.
I'm proposing you do the diligence. You find the rot. Excise it. It's not easy. It takes time. Sometimes you make mistakes. But we have a world full of people. Like you said, families, ideas. You're just willing to throw that on the pyre. Because maybe the next people will do better. I sympathize with wanting to change things. And too with the idea that some great strides need to be made. But we don't know what's on the other side of those gates. These people, these Red Wolves, and as I say it, I'm gonna watch his expression to see if he, is picking, if he responds to that name.
Make an insight check.
Nice.
Insight?
Yep.
28.
28.
Hey.
Zero response, as in you saying that. There's no who is that? There's no. It's almost like you're just saying another word. It's just an understanding. There's no confusion. There's no oh, don't say that name. There's no. It's just
Sure, yeah. Practiced coolness.
It's like if you were talking about a god to a clergyman and you would use the name of the god. It's just an understanding of what and who that is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're doing this in service to something dark. Something that we know even less about. It's hard to face the destruction every day and the suffering and the death and not want to just pull your blade out, or in your case your very, very powerful fists. But it's the slow build that makes a difference. It's the constant refusal to accept the easy solution.
So I'm just going to ask then, what's your suggestion? Because as we try and make this slow build, how many people are getting conscripted into the war? How many people are dying out on ships that they've only spent 2 days on? How do we do this?
I hate to be trite, as I hear what you're saying. The only answer I can give is one step at a time. One life at a time. One political leader at a time. You say you've infiltrated these circles. Well then, how come you can't influence policy? How come you can't change the messaging around this war? Certainly, I've seen in my life a change in the messaging in the Temple of Famir from "you must believe this" to "oh no, you stopped believing it. Actually, it's not so hard to believe it. Maybe you don't need to memorize as many things." These people in charge, they put out stories. There are ways to share information. There are ways to disrupt it, and we put our energy into the farmer.
So, where do we go from here? We've been living our lives from one mission to another where, I go into a room and I'm told exactly where to go, exactly what time to be there, exactly what to do once we get there, exactly what to expect. And live plan by plan and we plan everything out meticulously. We have step-by-step ideas on what to do. If we go into a place and we don't know what to expect, then we survey the area and we go in with a plan. And quite frankly, I'm sorry, I'm just not hearing a plan. I'm hearing that we save one life at a time and hope for the best. And I'm sorry, I just don't see a plan there.
You'll have to forgive me. My plan involves disrupting yours at the moment, as you want to blow everything up. So it's hard to work on the what comes next.
I suggest you start thinking about that, not just for yourselves, but for those people that you're trying to save. I would suggest finding that plan, because until you find it, you're just going to be going from one problem to another, and nothing's really going to be changing. I hate to be brutally honest, but there it is.
Yes, it's easy to believe that we all lose and then lose. It's harder to have hope, because it means you can't give up. Sure, let me build the plan for the entire world of Elbor on this rock here, as we hide from the cult. We need everyone. We need the people to see each other. Understand that the gods have their problems. The leaders, the lords, kings, Aarakocran, elders have their individual purposes. But that if we can all work together to identify the needs of everyone, we might not have to kill each other as much. I can't build a plan myself, is what I mean to say. We have to do it together. But it starts with believing that we can.
Well, I mean, no matter where we end up going from here, I don't know if me and mine can go back to Endoria. I don't know if we can. After this sort of situation, I don't know that that's going to be a possibility.
Is something to note that when we fail on my side, nobody kills us. Seems like maybe that's not how it works on your end.
Yeah, in hindsight, that's probably a red flag, huh?
It's a bit stark of a contrast. What do you think he'll do?
I don't know. I guess stop following other people's plans and start to put together a plan of our own. I think it's about time that we stop following the lead of others that are leading us astray. Time we figure it out on our own. And just then you hear a twig snap outside the cave.
I look in the direction of the sound.
You see trees rustling in the wind.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
Well, let's go find out what we need to plan around.
I don't want to pry, but I think that that cloak that one of your compatriots was wearing is going to be... I mean, they're sleeping. I don't know if they're going to have you...
Absolutely not. Under no circumstances are you to touch that child.
I'm not saying...
Take anything from
I'm not
that
saying
child.
for me. I'm saying I can be pretty quiet. I'm saying you're not the... Never mind. I think we can...
Well, why don't you
just go. Just
lead the way,
it's
please.
Fine.
I'll
There's
linger
something
10
out there. We need
steps
to
behind.
find out. Okay, you're going to be following me?
Aye.
Okay. I was just stepping right in my footsteps. The snow will make that easy. Okay. As Provel begins to step out into the snow,
boy.
very cautiously begins to walk out further and further, step by step. It's about 15, 20 feet out. You can see his eyes darting back and forth, very vigilant in looking around. I'm going to have you make a perception check for me.
Perception.
So good.
27.
27. You are looking around. You see the trees rustling. And just ahead even further, another twig snap. And immediately Provel turns around to you and locks eyes and sort of taps his ear as if to say, did you hear that?
Might give him a quick nod, a very abrupt nod.
And he sort of motions his hands forward and puts his hands up by his shoulders to say, are we going to keep going?
Boy, oh boy. I'm going to... No? Okay. I'm going to, under my breath, and cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
Give myself 30 feet of magic revelation.
And just in front of you, just past Provel, you start to pick up a tiny little, maybe only the size of a gold piece or two, tiny little ping of magic just up above, just up beyond Provel.
A small piece. Can I? Yeah, I get what school of magic it is. Can I?
Yes,
know
give me
that?
1 second.
Yes.
You pick up Illusion. The School of Illusion.
Oh man. Whatever's ahead, it has some kind of magical item, some sort of illusory magic. Oh, there's definitely something out there.
Well, I mean, we've been pretty quiet right now, and we've got no reason to think that it knows that we're here. Do we go and check it out?
As I have Detect Magic active, it's 10 minutes. Can I see, is this thing moving, or is it standing still?
It is completely still, and you can see it is sort of on the ground ahead of you.
On the ground.
Yes.
It's not moving.
I mean, do you want me to go check it out?
I think we should take a look.
Okay.
And I am going to follow him as stealthily as I can.
Okay, make a stealth check.
I'd have to end at some point.
Oh.
I've been rolling like a maniac. Stealth is, yeah, it's just +2. So that's a 6.
A 6, okay. You start to move forward, and you're not the stealthiest.
No.
As Provel turns around, hey,
I'm sorry.
quiet. But you get there.
Okay.
And you look on the ground, and you see a single silver piece. And as you're looking at it, from the silver piece, you hear the sound of a snapping twig.
Oh, shit. Let's go back.
What is it?
That's some kind of distraction. It's making that sound.
And as you both dash back to the cave, you're darting through the tree line. And as soon as the tree line opens up and you see the cave, you look and you see the entire party sleeping. And you see one dark figure. Purple and blue skin, tentacles coming down from the front of their face. Floating in the air perfectly perpendicular, just over Thessaly. His face is mere inches away from Thessaly.
I'm shooting a whole person at him.
Okay, what is that?
That is a save.
Yeah, I saw that one coming.
Can we just rest?
That is a wisdom save.
A wisdom save. That is a 19 plus.
Yeah, that'll save, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we hear you yell though?
Definitely. I yelled that.
Yeah, do
Okay.
I wake up?
Yes, the entire group wakes up, and Thessaly, immediately you see the dark, inky black eyes of an illithid floating in the air perfectly above you. And you can see it is looking directly at you, and immediately seeing that you wake up, it looks down at its hand. That now gently placed on its hand is a necklace that you are wearing.
Oh, shit. Okay, I'm
As
gonna try to rip it off.
It already has it in his hand, as in that moment, it sees that Ceallach cast a spell, clutches the necklace in your hand, and boom, vanishes.
No.
Wait, it's... And
You feel the necklace rip off from your neck.
it rips and it took it with it?
It took it with it.
Tessie, are you all right?
I don't know. I feel different. Like, do I...
No?
I'm gonna look over them. Or do they look okay?
Make a medicine check.
What's going on? What's going on?
There was a mind flare.
What? Oh, the illithid.
Okay, so...
23 on the medicine check.
Physically, Thessaly looks fine.
Wait, you look alright. It doesn't look like I'm like looking at her head. To make
had-
sure.
Just like... I'm like... not paralyzed, but I'm just like very stunned. And I like just put my hand to like my collarbone. There was something around my neck. It had something, but it took it with it. Why would it take it with it if it...
What was it? What was around your neck?
I don't know, some kind of... If I try to remember in the moment, was it like a leather cord? Was it...
Only necklace around your neck was the one that you got from Thaddeus. That
Hid your
does
location.
not allow you to be tracked by anyone.
That's...
We forgot about the illithid.
Well, I didn't forget about
Wait.
the Edited Seeker. We just...
That they were being sent here is what I'm saying.
I'm
I
gonna...
didn't forget about that either. It's just not something I wanted to mention in the present company, but now that it's out, great.
Well, I think everyone saw. Or maybe not everyone saw, but everyone realized... Seeker? The necklace that Thaddeus gave?
Oh.
They took it.
Oh. Well, that's not good.
Does that mean...
Here, take mine.
But it found us here.
No, it's
anyway.
going to... And
They
they
were
have
coming.
my blood.
They were coming.
They were
They-
coming no matter what.
They have her blood. But she needs this more
I
than
think,
me.
Thessaly, I think you should use it because
Yeah.
Seeker was just traveling with us when we went and got the necklaces, and I don't think anyone was after him. They were after us.
Although there was someone tracking me before, but you need this now. Take it.
And I very reluctantly, like acknowledging the logic of that argument, I do take it from Seeker and place it around my neck.
Someone was after you too, Seeker?
Yes. We can. Yes.
You've got...
Oh,
It
Someone's always after Seeker.
It was different, yeah. Self-inflicted.
You all hear from just outside the cave.
No, I just want to sleep.
I think we're gonna... You don't have to do... You're exhausted. I don't even know how much help you
Olma.
would be.
Olma, how many... Did they say how many they were sending?
no.
How many did we see? We saw so many.
I mean,
There
he
could
did
have
say
been
to wake
any
up
number.
a few more.
I hate everything right now.
How would they
Am I-
follow
I-
us here? We're so far.
They had
They knew
Thessaly's
where to go.
blood.
They have a vial of my blood, Flynn. They did experiments on... They did the trial, and remember they took things from me, and I thought we destroyed it, but some of it must have been able to get to them before...
And they can teleport all the way here.
I don't know if they could teleport. They might have been... I mean, we left the same location the same day. Almost saw them in the same
we
room.
teleported.
Does anyone know how many there are out there? Can we just find out?
Well, they
You
are
found
I-
invisible.
Oh, right.
Have
Okay,
you-
put my hood up immediately.
I'm going to Evil once more. Locate creature. Looking for mind flayers.
Yeah.
Okay. Your vision turns to that same hue that it normally does when you cast this spell.
And start sorting through the tethers of all the
And
creatures.
as you look towards the front of the cave, you see the perfect outline in just a single moment, perfect outline of a mind flare. And in his hand, invisible in his hand, you hear and see him crush the necklace before a tear opens up in space behind him and he steps through. The tear closes and he disappears completely. You no longer sense any magic coming from that direction.
He's gone.
How many were there?
You're sure?
Just the one.
Did he take the necklace?
I think we might find a couple pieces of it on the ground over there.
Oh, man.
Not comforting.
Not a grip strength.
I'm glad he didn't decide to do anything else.
Doesn't really seem like he needed it. Or it helped.
I wonder why, if he knows we're here now, why not bring the full force of his companions? Well,
Maybe he was the scout. Maybe he's going back. I don't know.
if he's the scout, then we should probably move.
I mean,
How much further can we go in this amount of time before we're gonna have to rest again?
It's just going to be more snow, more trouble.
We should try and just...
Easier to defend here.
I don't know.
I would say this is a pretty easily defendable spot. We've only got, 2 points of entry and exit.
How did
And honestly, if it can be invisible like that, if it's deciding to stick around, it can just follow us to the next place that we go.
That's right.
How did he get so close?
So did we agree we're going back to sleep?
Yes,
Yes, I
going
think
back to sleep.
Okay.
How did it get
Cecily,
close?
Don't get tadpoled, okay?
I will try really, really hard, Oma. And
'Kay.
my swords are really sharp, so
So maybe sleep with it pointing up. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go back to sleep now.
good night.
Seeker's going back to bed too.
All right.
I guess I'm ready to take. I'm not going back to sleep after that. Like,
I'm sorry, Thessaly. And I'll approach them and they had some kind of magical coin out there that distracted us. I went to check it out and then here they were.
there's nothing any of us could have really done. They seem intent on finding all of us and using me as the vehicle, considering I let them take my blood. I shouldn't have been so foolish. I really should have found another way.
You were doing something to help our friend.
But I went in with my eyes shut. I could have asked more questions. There were things I could have... There's nothing we can do about
I
it
don't
now.
think it's your responsibility that people were cruel and evil to you. They're at fault for their own evil.
All we can do now is be ready, because I'm sure that they're coming back, and I don't want them finding any of our friends, or any of their friends for that matter. So, now I've got Seeker's necklace, and hopefully that should stop any more tracking, maybe, or...
Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know how well they know Seeker or anyone else they could conceivably track.
That's true. We were all in that hive thing.
They were in my mind.
They were in your mind?
Yeah, they know my memories, maybe. The one that impersonated me got away.
Right. So they have plenty of information
That,
on us. It's not funny.
maybe more than I do. Sometimes I'm a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I'm sharp, but,
Of course. Well, we should let Olma and Seeker sleep, and we should probably let you and Provel get some sleep, and I think resting and just being ready.
As long as you're sure you're all right. I know, you got a couple of good blows on you. In the
I'm
fight
pretty
up there.
tough, Ceallach. I don't know if you've noticed.
I know, but I've seen lots of tough people die.
I'll be here too, and I'll be awake.
Flynn will protect me.
Yeah.
And,
Do you need that? I know it's, you don't like it when I help, but I could maybe mend some of your wounds for you. Feel it out.
Okay, sure, fine. That's fine. And I'm just gonna like sit and kind of like cross my arms and like look expectantly at Ceallach.
I will hide my excitement. And I will cast. You know what? What the hell, right? Cure wounds at 5th level.
Dang.
Take advantage of the moment.
Speaking of the moment, I will walk to the entrance of the cave, kind of just give them some space. And I will pull out my books and just like try my best to kind of focus on that.
And I would like to. You'll see there's the sort of new effects that have been enveloping my spellcasting are not present currently. And in fact, more of the flesh on my arm that has been revealed by this bandage peeling away is... I guess I'll roll for this first. Nice. It starts to peel away my actual skin as I burn another Divine Ember. I'm going to re-roll these guys. Hell yeah. About to get a much better roll. And use Divine Ember to give you 32 points of healing.
Pretty nice.
Thessaly, you do take all of that healing, but after it happens, you feel just a little bit nauseous.
Yeah.
Oh.
You see, like I'm very pale, but a little bit of like color, maybe like a little bit of red returns to my cheeks, and then it immediately almost sours like a little green, and I kind of like wince.
Huh. Not usually what happens. I'm sorry.
No, I feel a lot better, but I also just feel like I might. Fine, I'm good.
I will cast Lesser Restoration.
No, wait, and I'm gonna like reach my hand. Wait, you don't understand. Dude, he cast it, I guess. Like, I try to reach out to Stone. Like, no, wait, don't do it.
I stop, but I look as though I'm about to.
I appreciate the sentiment, and I wanted to tell you I owe you 2 thank yous today. One for offering to stand in front of me between me and Manala, and one for healing Seeker when I couldn't. So, thank you twice.
No thanks.
Thank you 3 times for healing me, even though I don't know. Does that happen to other people, or is it just does Zachriel not like me?
I've never seen that happen before.
I love hearing that.
I think it's because Zachriel has any... Well, can't say for sure, but he's not the sort to... He doesn't pick favorites. It's kind of his, like, main thing. He's really into it, to a fault, I think.
He seemed to pick you.
I know, I brought that up to him.
And?
He changed the subject, if I remember correctly. So I doubt it's that. Is there any... I don't want to pry, but is there any reason that a bit hesitant to receive... You had sort of reaction when I... You don't seem to like the gods.
Oh, Ceallach, that's such an understatement.
So maybe the feeling is mutual? Is that...
It wouldn't surprise me.
Why not?
Because despite the fact that I think everything about me says I should be incredibly grateful to them, I resent them more than even the armies of Caldor. And they know that. I have a feeling they know that, and I sort of just like look skyward. I've made it pretty clear.
Did they do something to demonstrate that?
It's actually the fact that they didn't do anything.
That does happen.
Yeah, it does. They seem to pick people, and they seem to pick their battles, and they seem to choose when they want to show up, and who they let die and who they let live, and I just can't figure out why, Ceallach. I can't figure out why they chose you, and why they left other people to rot, and why they continue to let hundreds, if not thousands of people die every day on ships and on land, and they ask us all to watch and just move on and be okay with it.
This is just a theory I'm working on. But I don't think they expected all of this. I think maybe they bit off more than they could chew.
Well, you'll forgive me if I feel just a little less than sympathy, considering everything they seem to be able to do.
Well, as you said, you're tough. You're mighty.
Sure.
Then how come people die around you? This is because, despite having a lot of power, sometimes you can't help everyone. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to overstep.
No, you're right. People do die around.
No, I didn't.
No, people do, Ceallach.
I meant it more broadly than that, Cecily.
But they do. So maybe I'm not what they wanted. Maybe I'm not living up to the potential. This divine potential that everyone seems so obsessed with. The Red Wolf, Agents of Repair. I don't know. They won't tell me, and I've asked, and I'm getting angry. I'm sorry. I'd like to take my watch. Do you mind if you just... Do you mind if you just leave me alone? Please?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I just, shrivel up and toward my corner of the room.
I'm gonna go find Flynn.
All right. And Ceallach, right as you curl up in the corner of the room, you just sort of bundle yourself up, try and make yourself as warm as possible. And over that difficult conversation, you sort of start to think about, everything that's happened and especially that battle that just took place. And your eyes glimpse over to the fire. And, it's making shadows dance on the walls. And you catch just one tiny little ember float up off of the fireplace, or off of the fire. And it floats up out of the cave, is taken up by the wind, and you can just barely see it move up. This tiny little part in the clouds, where the ember then meets with a star that just barely shines through the clouds. As the ember fades, you close your eyes and fall asleep. You level up.
As I sort of pull my blankets tighter, even though I don't feel especially cold. Why did you pick me?
Thessaly and Flynn.
So I'm at the entrance, and I'm looking over my books and just kind of flipping through, and I'm probably not able to make out what they were talking about, but I probably heard them stop talking.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in my books, and I'm just looking through them. I'll look back to see if they're done talking.
They are done talking.
I'm walking right up to you.
Oh, hey. How was your healing?
I don't know if this has ever happened when Ceallach heals you, but he seemed to be a little off his game, and I almost threw up. Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah, what, were you nervous?
No. I heal myself all the time. Seekers healed me.
Huh.
Must be Ceallach.
Maybe. I don't know. He has been kind of like... Don't tell him I said this, but he's kind of wish-washy between the gods.
Yeah, I gathered that based on the fact that he seems torn, or maybe not torn, maybe the opposite of it, between specifically two of them, old and new.
Yeah.
Which is really strange. And
yeah, it's also kind of annoying.
why is it annoying? Well, I know why I think it's annoying. Why do you think it's annoying?
I also hate guys.
I don't know. I'm gonna, like, summon my sword. I sucked. I was on the ground getting the shit kicked out of me that whole fight. And then I tried to get back to fight the guy that was beating me up. I get knocked off of the platform and then get beat up some more. And then when I finally have a chance to attack, I miss all my swings. And then I, like, throw the sword. Ceallach just gets power. Just for asking for it.
I think he did a little more than ask.
It doesn't seem that way.
When sometimes there's just not a reason for things. Sometimes we just lose. And sometimes we have to give it meaning. And you have to figure out why you're fighting and why it has to matter that you don't stay down and you get back up and you keep taking more swings even when you miss them again and again and again. And as someone who missed her fair share of swings over the past several days, I know the feeling.
Yeah. I mean, my mom said persistence. Never give up. You know, and that's what I did. That's what I've been doing. And I like to think that I put up a good front of not letting things get to me. But, you know, with everything happening, with Shreya leaving, with whatever the hell happened up there, it just it's getting freaking hard. You know?
I do.
And I pour through these books hours and hours and hours, and I feel like I'm getting nowhere. Getting nowhere.
Glenn, I don't think you're getting nowhere. Considering the fact that you managed to survive that fight is pretty impressive, and for what it's worth, I wasn't feeling my best at the end of it. I don't think many of us were. Seeker could barely stand. So, if we're counting losses and wins, the fact that no one took a life is a pretty big one. I mean, we actually achieved what people have been trying to achieve for a very long time, which was peace at the end of it. And isn't that the goal? Isn't that what you learned in the Iron Light? Isn't that why you joined? So that you could protect people and they could move on and live safely?
Yeah, but it's more than that. You know?
Then what is it?
Well, you wouldn't understand. Because, I mean, look at you, and I'll just, like, look up at this towering figure. It's different for us. You know? We're always seen as half a man. Half a person. A child. And growing up, it was easier in our town because, you know, all the same size. But, you know, moving around, traveling, you see how people look at you, you know? And, you know, I brought it up to my dad at one point and he told me halflings have to earn their respect. They don't get it. joining the collective, while I love the challenge, the power, or whatever it is, this is my way to earn that respect. To show people that I am a man. And I don't know if I'm doing a good job. You mentioned the fights we've been in, and the most recent one, without the dragon, we may have failed. With the fight with Chath, had you not fought him, I don't know if I could have taken him. With the fight of this demon, Ceallach's the one that brought it out of me. I haven't won at all without anyone else. I need to be able to do this myself. I can't.
Lynn.
What?
Coming from someone who's been alone for a really, really long time, you don't want that. You especially don't want that in the middle of a... What were you going to do? You're going to walk in and take Chath and all three of them out together? They had years of experience on you. Potions and powers and things. So you learn from it and you adapt and you get better. But it's...
That's the problem. I don't think I am.
Disagree. I think you're very hard on yourself.
That's my mom.
And I think sometimes trying is enough.
That's my dad.
Yes, I've tended to fill both those roles. You actually remind me a lot of my brother. My little brother.
Yeah.
Although I think he might be taller than me. I don't remember.
At least you won't tell us apart. You'll be able to, at least.
You would get along very well. He's also very hard on himself.
Yeah, if I had a sister, you'd make a good one.
I kind of blush. And I look away. So you don't have any siblings?
No. Just me and mom and dad.
They must miss you.
Yeah. I mean, I had friends too that are, kind of why, and I'll swing my little satchel over. So that's why I have this bag.
Oh?
Yeah, it's I don't know. It kind of started when. So my parents are salesmen. They have a shop, and I worked there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to bore you with the details, but when I got old enough, I would start helping them in the shop, and that got kind of boring. So my mom, once I got a little older, decided that she'd take me on trips with her to because she would do the traveling. She's tough, and my dad's smart, so she would be the one that would go out and trade and get new goods and new magic items. She'd sometimes take me along. And, I just, every once in a while, I just started grabbing little things just to bring back to my dad at the shop. Little adventures that we went on, which back then I thought were amazing and extravagant and wonderful. So I'd bring little things back and talk about the story to him, and he'd listen intently and smile and care. And I turned the bag over, and wooden necklaces, a magical hand, cannonball shrapnel, a bronze hairpin, magical paper, sheep's wool, 2 jars of jam, and a bunch of assortments of things fall out of my bag. I'm collecting. So I have some stories to tell when I get back and see them.
Oh, I think you're going to have plenty of story to tell. And I think they're going to be really, really proud of you.
I'm sure they will. But, I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about everyone else.
In my experience, everyone else just sort of fades to the background. It's the people that care about you that are important. Like your parents, like Kaylin,
Yeah,
like Zorkal, even in a weird sort of way.
he is pretty cool now. I think he's my best friend.
Have you told Kaylin that?
No. No.
You should try. I want to see how that conversation
Yeah, please
goes.
don't tell her that. It was mainly a joke. She'd be mad. No, I mean, you're right. I am glad where things have gone. It's just, and I know I am mad at myself, or hard on myself. But that's kind of have to be.
I think you can also work on forgiving yourself a little more too, though. That's important.
Are you good at that?
I'm working on it.
If you have any tips, let me know.
Oh, if I figure it out, you'll be the first to know.
I'm kind of distracted with these books right now. Usually I can sit and read them for hours, but I can't right now. And I'll look up to the mountain. Can't focus. What do you do to pass the time?
Oh, usually I draw or I paint. And
Draw?
Sure. And I take out my sketchbook and my painter supplies, and if you flip through it, you see,
Yeah, I'll flip through a few pages.
yeah, dozens of different kinds of people from all around, like Elbor, just Seekers in there a couple times. I've started some sketches of each of you. They're faint though. They're not even close to full form.
As I'm flipping through. You know, and it has been a busy time recently, but back in the day, I did have a really good drawing or two of some friends that I met along the way.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'll look at the dark sky. It's actually a dwarven tradition to pick up a new trade for a small amount of time during the long eve. Would you be able to teach me? I have promised. We can go back to Outerspell and I'll show you what I can do.
I would absolutely love to teach you, Flynn.
And that is where we're going to end this episode.
That's so cute.
Very wholesome. We're going to call it right there.
Thanks,
Thank
Mom.
you all so much for listening.
You're welcome.
And we
Or
can't
older
wait to see
sister
you
or
all
whatever.
again
Same thing.
next week. Bye, nerds.
Bye.
nerds.
Hey, nerds. If you liked that episode, be sure to like, share, and subscribe across all platforms. We'll see you next week.